There is this interesting thing about having a spiritual practice and feeling like a spiritual person. When I get triggered by something, I'm like, but hold on, I shouldn't be triggered. And I have had to really reshape my relationship to triggers because I truly believe when you can look under the hood of what is really going on, triggers are our treasures. It's this interesting thing because no one wants to feel disrupted. And when something upsets me or I feel challenged by it, you feel this dis-ease in your body. And now when I feel that, when something really brings this emotion up to the surface where maybe I'm feeling envious, a little jealous by something, I think it's really, really important. Like, first and foremost, be freaking human. Like, be pissed, be annoyed, be a little jealous, be a little like ugly in the process. I can really be ugly when I'm processing something, and having those safe spaces and those safe people to really dive into the depths of what's really going on, because that's the thing about triggers. You think this, maybe this situation or this person, by the way, is there's something about it and it annoys you and it irritates you. You think it's the thing that is bothering you in the first place. And let me just give an example. Let's just say there's someone that you follow, that you choose to follow, by the way, and they trigger you and you like cannot put your finger on it. But maybe there's something within this person that you recognize in yourself, and they embody it and they're living it unapologetically. And it could trigger something within you that brings up that lack, because you know deep, deep down inside that you too desire that thing, even that feeling, just that becoming. So it can bring up like a little bit of ugliness, jealousy, judgment. And I know I'm certainly working on being less judgmental. I think it's important to observe and to have discernment and some judgment towards things, but to just like walk around with like judgy energy, it's really toxic. And I think it's very off-putting, and it's something you can feel. It's palpable. It's like you can taste it in your mouth when someone leads their life through a judgmental lens. But being able to actually sit with the thing that's bothering you and go underneath it, really peel back all of these layers and get to the root of what it is. Because the trigger could be, what you think it's about, but then underneath it all, it's like, but what is this really about? And I had a situation happen where I was so annoyed by something. And I think it's, if you feel maybe envious of the way that a person looks, or annoyed by something they're doing that you feel like you could be doing too, we can't change who we are, but we can change actions that we put behind the things that we're doing, that we're bringing to life, and do anything that we want with our time, with our energy. And I do think when you live your life in that force field, when you really lock into this knowing that you can bring something to life, when you focus on it, when you nourish it, when you help it grow, when you are honest with yourself, when you are standing in your own way because of your own judgmental thoughts towards the thing. But if you can actually look at this moment as an opportunity for you to really get underneath what it's really about. It is such a moment for inner transformation. And I've had this full up healing, this like up leveling of watching myself go through this. And I just had such a beautiful awakening to changing the way that I look at things that trigger me, because I can unleash when I'm triggered. Like, it's definitely something that I am working on just being less reactive towards it, but also allowing myself the space to be a little freaking reactive in my own private time with people I feel safe with. It is my process, is getting it out, literally like regurgitating every single thing that's on my mind, in my gut, not feeling bad about it, getting like working through the ugly. Like, we all have these elements of ourselves that I think, in the wellness world and even in the spiritual world, it can appear that everyone has their shit together. And I'm here to tell you that actually we're all dealing with the same damn things. We're all working through the same things of feeling worthy in who we are and what we're doing. And in fully loving, accepting ourselves as we are, and also being okay with the fact that we could be in a really beautiful place and be really present where our 2 feet are with what we're doing, with what is right in front of us, but also desire more. And if you can look at the things in your life, the people who deeply trigger you, there is such a lesson and a learning in asking why. What is it? Is there something that you wish that you had too, or you wish you were doing? And then get granular with that. Like, is that because your ego feels as if you should be doing that too because of the way that it looks? And this is where we have to. There is no more playing small. We have got to get grounded in ourselves. We have to learn to center in here, to not feel like everything is externally outside of us and we have to find the thing and we're seeking and we're searching. And we have to get really familiar with coming back home to us when we're feeling so outside of ourselves. And that's what triggers do for me. They take me to a place that is so far outside of myself because it's making me feel a sense of lack. It's making me feel like I don't have that thing or I want that thing. And I'm super competitive and I am competitive with myself. And I like to feel a certain way. And the work that I share, I have so much pride and excitement around it. And I love being the best at what I put out, but to a place where sometimes I can be my own worst enemy. And getting more aligned with who you are, with what matters to you at the end of every single day. Is it about all of the things that you're doing, or is it about the feeling that you feel when you actually show up to do the thing? And I know for myself that that is what matters most to me at this place in my life of becoming more of who I really, really am. And also, it's like, I look at your process and your practice, there is such a double-edged sword because you do become more enlightened and self-aware to your shit. And it is so hard to look inside ourselves and to shift the way and the relationship towards maybe the way we're looking at something and our energy around it. And this is where I've just had this beautiful awakening around this process of changing the way I'm looking at the things that bring up that feeling inside of me. Because at the end of that rocky road, there's like that. I mean, I was literally just going to say, at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold, but like it is gold. It's this light that reveals and shines from your soul. The more clear that we can get with what it really is, instead of what we think is the reason. It's kind of like when you have a blowout with someone. And I mean, who hasn't? It's the worst feeling in the world, right? Why? Because you let it build into something. You let it brew. You let it sit. You kept sweeping shit under the rug. And then when it was time where you could not contain anymore, because we are all containers, you can only hold so much, you will blow. And when you do, it's ugly. So instead of letting something get to the point where it irritates the complete shit out of me, which it still does, because things can be irritating and triggering and they can just bring up so much that maybe we're feeling like we're just not doing or whatever it is, we have to get to the bottom of it. This is our duty and I believe, like my own life's work, our life work, to go under the hood of our lives and to get clear with what feels the most aligned and true for you. Who gives a shit what anything else looks like? Like quieting the noise, being so careful with the information that you are letting inside your own vessel and getting just really clear with the things that don't feel so great, but also understand why they don't. There's just such a gift in being able to dive deep into the things that bring it all to the surface. And it's given me this beautiful opportunity to really ask myself, like, what I really want. Like, what do I really want? And I think the older I get, it's less about a thing and it's more about the feeling. So, where in your life, what within that person is so deeply triggering to you? Because there is an unveiling. This is here to reveal and to reflect something to you. There's a message in it. And when we can get over ourselves and we can let all that stuff out, like journal, talk the tea to someone, like whatever it is, whatever helps you literally move through this stuff, whether it's therapy, life coach. And then it's our work on our own to get more grounded in who we are. So we have this inner knowing. We're not looking outside for guidance and direction. It's inside of us. It's in source. It's in here. So keep locking into yourself. And I always know too, when the more triggered I am, the more I have to get to work. I wake up a little earlier. I meditate a little longer. I move consistently. And all of that stuff starts to dissipate. Why? Because I'm not locked in on what anybody else is doing. I'm locked in on myself, on what I'm here to do, what makes me feel alive, what makes you feel alive. Start asking yourself, start paying attention to what really gets you excited to do the thing, to be with the people, and what doesn't. The less time that we can give our energy to those things, and the more we can pour into the things that fill us up, that make us feel so full, the more full and rich everything in our life becomes.